Although King David was considered a standard by which all other Israelite kings were measured, there has been some question surrounding the legitimacy of his right to rule. This stems from Deuteronomy chapter 23 verse 2, which clearly states that one of illegitimate birth shall not enter the assembly of the Lord, even to the 10th generation. None of his descendants shall enter the assembly of the Lord. David, of course, was the descendant of Perez, who was the illegitimate child of Judah and Tamar. So this family line, according to the Mosaic law, was disqualified from entering the assembly of the Lord until the 10th generation. While the assembly of the Lord often refers to the Jewish people as a whole, in the context of Deuteronomy 23, it appears to be referring to any leadership role in either the government or in corporate worship. Hence, Judah's line up until the 10th generation would be disqualified from entering into any leadership roles involving either church or state. Because some count David as only a 9th generation descendant of Perez, they maintain that biblically he should have been disqualified from the kingship. And critics who deny that the scriptures are divinely inspired claim that this is an error, since the Bible seemingly overlooks and contradicts itself regarding this particular law. However, the Bible does nothing of the sort. Far from overlooking this law, the Bible actually seems to acknowledge and celebrate David as the very fulfillment of it. This is seen in the Old Testament book of Ruth. Ruth, who was a foreigner, married a Jewish man named Boaz, and at their wedding celebration, a toast was proclaimed. May your house be like the house of Perez, whom Tamar bore to Judah, because of the offspring which the Lord will give you from this young woman. To those familiar with the unfortunate and disgraceful episode of Judah and Tamar in Genesis 38, this remark seems more like a curse than a blessing. So what's going on here? Could it be that this declaration in Ruth chapter 4 verse 12 was both acknowledging that the law in Deuteronomy 23 was still in effect, but also looking forward to that 10th generation when the seed of Judah could finally serve in public office? Significantly, that 10th generation from Perez was none other than David, and to emphasize this, the book closes with David's genealogy. Now this is the genealogy of Perez. Perez begot Hezron, Hezron begot Ram, and Ram begot Amminadab. Amminadab begot Nahshon, and Nahshon begot Salmon. Salmon begot Boaz, and Boaz begot Obed. Obed begot Jesse, and Jesse begot David. As the Bible shows, David is counted as the 10th generation, not the 9th as critics suppose. The discrepancy comes because critics do not count Perez as a generation, whereas the Bible does. Thus it was perfectly legal for David to occupy the throne. The scepter had finally and rightfully come to Judah, just as Jacob proclaimed in Genesis chapter 49.